Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode, another fun episode of the Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Room today, we got an actor who was just recently in the brand new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm talking about Sam Douglas. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him about horror movies, about being in such an iconic film like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Brew Room. And my interview with Sam Douglas is coming up very shortly. So stay tuned.
So what do you want to know?
Um,
Okay.
okay, and welcome to Brew and thanks
Welcome
so
to the
much.
Grue Room. Here we are, man. You get me grossed out.
Right, exactly. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's about having fun and watching horror movies.
Are those you have those two words in the same sentence, huh? It's like having the word fun and run in the same. We're gonna go for a fun run. It's like in the same sentence. Well, I guess you can have fun in horror, you can enjoy the process.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, my wife, after a while, because she wasn't familiar with the horror genre, she was I'm living on tense all the time because around the corner is the phone going to ring or is something going to come out, and then jump. And she's living like that for 2 hours. She was, I'm so tense. I go, welcome to the genre. Even I too was like, because it was good the way they cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a lull. I go, no, don't relax because something is, and so we have a joke now. Every time there's my fear, I go, "Zzz," and she's like, and so she's like, holy shit, start up the chainsaw.
So
Anyway,
so like, are you a fan of horror films? Like what kind of
I've
horror
been in a
films do you
couple.
like?
I've been in a couple. Uh, Listen, I got to tell you, I don't know if you're a gamer, but
Yeah,
I was in
yeah.
a game called Heavy Rain.
Thought I was one of the games that I actually played. Like I loved playing that game. It was a great horror game.
Yeah, because um, I just thought, well, it's a video game. But when I went to Paris and I saw the graphics,
Hmm.
I thought, shit, this is dark. The artwork went, wow, this is like even better than a film. They
Yeah.
worked so hard on the depth of the set. It would look so wonderful, interesting, because they're French, they're very creative. And I thought, shit, right, I'm going to approach this like a film, right? This is, wow, okay, serious. And it took off. And then we won awards, and then Warner Brothers picked it up
Hmm.
for an option for the movie. And I think they were going to talking about De Niro playing my part or other people and filming a cameo or something. And then I went back to the gamers, Quantic Dream in Paris, and they were laughing and said, Sam, this isn't ever going to get made because I forgot, why it's never going to get made. It was because it's about killing children or
Oh, yeah.
putting children in a drain and then waiting for their fathers to save them or not and waiting for it to rain. Maybe if
Hmm.
it was the other way around and it was adults, maybe it might have, because I talked to the producers, called me in Hollywood, and it was picked up like, yeah, because it was like 7, but because it involves children with the horror of that horrific deaths, that you think, oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe you can get away with video games like, Grand Theft Auto. We won't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
into things you can do, but you can get away with it in gaming, but in mainstream cinema, they're not going to film me, an adult, putting, why? Because we'll get nutcases doing that
Yeah, I know you're
or
right.
something. And then, it's like when I worked with Kubrick, when he did Clockwork Orange,
Hmm.
you get kooks and people doing spin-offs and things, and then he had a lot of lawsuits thinking, but he's, I just filmed it.
Oh wow.
with people dressing up in bowler hats and
Yeah.
so you would get that in Heavy Rain. You might, I don't know if you get it in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I haven't seen anybody wearing their mother's face lately. you know? Listen, the whole community was convinced that I was Leatherface, right? Because I'd
Oh
been
really?
in, some fans, and I kept saying, no, I'm not. And I remember going for breakfast, and I saw um, uh, the guy playing Leatherface, McNally, and I didn't say anything. And then he kind of eyed me and thought, "Are you in this?" Because there's 2 or 3 films going on. This is in was it Bulgaria or Romania?
Oh.
Bulgaria. It was in Bulgaria. It was filmed.
Oh wow.
And hey, it's cheap. You get cheap actors. Why send an actor from Los Angeles and pay him on SAG? You just get him from London cheap on EasyJet and throw him in, a hotel. And it's, there's a lot of American films in Romania and Bulgaria.
Okay, yeah, really?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh wow.
We won't go into why. It's all about
Yeah,
that.
it's all about the money. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cheaper, and then they make it. Well, I wouldn't say rudely, but and then they put it in the can, and so when they come back and then they put it, legitimize it, they haven't done anything wrong because it's all in the can. You see, and they change the name of the film and pay the famous actors that the money's been left in escrow, and voila, and so that's why there's a lot of films there,
Oh
American
wow.
films. Yeah, I
Wow.
have a lot of American friends that work on the cruise that will actually live there because there's one after another,
Wow,
And
wow,
so,
that's nuts.
yeah, so I've done a few horror films, a couple maybe just as a day player or two. It's an interesting genre. So these people thought, "Oh, you're Leatherface," and I said, "Well, because I'm very big. I'm 6'4" and I'm huge." And so I thought, "Yeah, I wish. I think I was up for it." But
Oh,
then I
nice.
think they just threw me Herb. And I thought, oh, they want me to be Herb because Herb is like a red herring. You think maybe he looks like Leather. Maybe he could actually be the guy that's in the shop. But they'd cut a bit of my scene. I had a lot more dialogue. And then I had a
Oh.
couple more scenes but what they did was they established me talking and then cut to the woman, which was
Hmm.
more interesting because she was going to go back into finding Leatherface. And then another couple of scenes looking down the road and stuff and having a smoke. But, smaller parts, they get cut because I have to go work from the essential parts of the plot, the functional bits,
Hmm.
to move the plot along and then work backwards. And I say, oh, well, we're going to have to cut the smaller little things, just 30 seconds here, 20 seconds there,
Oh,
and
wow.
add it. So it goes into the essential. The plot has to go into the can first, and then they expand, come back, and then expand on the leads or on the smaller parts and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So I understand that. That's so about editing and timing and stuff. But yeah, and so there was more of a conversation about. I improvised quite a while about that Leatherface is back and explaining it to the cop that's still alive after all these years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, and so no, so all that was filmed in Romania, even the exterior. They
Oh,
just
wow.
you just get an expanse of land, and it looks pretty much like the States. If you don't show too many mountains or telephone lines, you got it pretty much. Kind of middle of nowhere, and
Yeah.
no, but that it was because everybody was saying, Texas chain. Wow, and I didn't realize it'd been so long. They haven't done anything since. And
Mhm.
they're like, what? And it's my agent called me the other day for, oh, Jesus, not the other day, it was last year. Uh, it was for, what's the chariot scene in, Ben-Hur?
Oh, okay.
The re,
Okay.
okay, the remake of Ben-Hur. Now, why would you want to make Ben? I mean, it was such a classic thing.
I
And there's
know.
the two famous scenes is the chariot scene, racing, and then the other is in on the ship. And they wanted me. I was played King Herod in the Bible. And they wanted me to be this slave driver on the ship, and had Morgan Freeman in it and
Hmm.
stuff. And why redo it? Well, you see, because it's so old that the young don't know it,
Yeah, yeah,
but
that's true.
it's already advertised. It's got its own marketing. You see,
Hmm.
it's sort of pre-marketed. So it's a double whammy. You have the elderly like us that go, "Oh, Ben Hur, I'll see that again. Oh,
Yeah,
wow."
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have the young going, "What the hell is Ben Hur?" And so you get two markets, right? And same with Chainsaw Massacre. You've got people, wow, Chainsaw Massacre? That
Hmm.
sounds great. And then the old, or us, everybody over 30, goes, oh, wow, they're bringing that out again. Wow, okay. And so we want to see if it's as good as or better than, and now they'll probably do another now within the
Yeah.
next 5 years, 3 years, because, well, it's there, you
Well,
know,
yeah. I mean,
until,
especially how the movie went, especially
yeah.
how the end happened. Like,
Yeah, no, I tricked my wife because she thought, well, that's over, and I was like, this is a horror flick. It's not, and we all thought, wow, okay, you never come out of the water there, okay, and then that last scene of like, well, I think it was 30 seconds,
yeah.
wham, and cut and bye bye, and so then you think, oh right, it's the same scenario as before. One survived, and
Hmm.
this could last a while. So it was kind of clever that I thought, oh, it's two made it. Okay, it's different than before, and or they're going to get them both, and but no, they managed to perpetuate it again in the same scenario. And so, hey, but I'm still alive.
Yeah,
They could
true.
have me
You are.
again. you know,
So if
Still
they
in the
if they
same
do
job.
make another one, they could bring you back. And
Oh man, listen, I was in. I don't know if you have a series there. It's called Killing Eve.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Killing Eve, and I play an obnoxious Donald Trump type golfer, and they're talking because the Russians, please. They're talking. I don't like Americans, please. And so um, she has a plan to. I'm gonna. You don't. She goes, you don't have it anymore. She goes, no, I'm gonna get it. And so she pretends she loses her ball, and I come over, and of course, what happens is the to be a spoiler is she uses me to kill her friend, her
Uh,
Russian counterpart. So you think that I'm going in the woods to look for her ball, and they're both going to whack me with their club, but she whacks her friend in the face and takes her out. And why am I telling you? Oh, because my wife um, is from the Philippines, and so she's a massage therapist. So she massaged Sandra Oh,
oh yeah, yeah,
which,
yeah.
which is the Chinese American lady. And even she said, "Oh," she goes, "You know my husband." And she, "What?" I said, "Yeah, he was in Killing Eve." And she said, "Oh, here," and showed him the cell phone, and she went, "Oh, yeah, I know Sam." And then she said, "Did he die?" And
What?
my wife said, "No, no, he didn't die." I just scrambled away. She let me go, and I thought, "Oh, maybe they'd call me back and to kill me because I'm a witness." But I think it's ending now. It's series and stuff like that. It's just, my only motivation is monetary.
Hmm.
But here's the funny thing. This is funny because in the Philippines, they have an expression, the word "oh," like "oh, would you like some more coffee?" "Oh,"
Oh,
or it's
yeah,
like, yeah,
really?
like it's kind of a heads up, like
Uh,
"oh, did you feel that?" "Oh," and you say, "Oh, here's a cup of tea." "Oh," and you go, "Oh, thank you." They always say "oh" at the end of the sentence. "Oh," like
wow.
I'm gonna go to the toilet. "Oh," it's just that because they borrow it from the surprise of "oh," so they throw it back in the sentence anywhere. You can send
Oh,
like you know, would you like a pear? Oh, and I said, oh yeah, thank you. And so the other day she called me, right? And she said, I just massaged Sandra. Oh, and I said, Sandra, who's Sandra? She goes, no, Sandra. Oh, and I said, I know Sandra. You know, she said, I said, oh, you mean Sandra? Oh, oh, Sandra. Oh, oh, and I was like, oh, you mean Sandra? Oh, oh. So it's like, it's so funny. I said, Sandra. Oh, well, no, Sandra. Oh. And so, okay, oh, right. So you're not talking Philippines. It's just, I don't know. It's a thing. I don't know why. But so, no, I was considered. I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind going back into Killing Eve. But,
Yeah.
it's on, I think it's on its last legs now, 3 or 4 series. I mean, how long can you keep assassinated lesbians apart? They've got to, lick each other eventually or something. I don't know, or kill each other by tongue or something. I don't know. But the suspense is like drained. But women love this thing. I don't know why. I think because it's the love, hate, and
Gotcha.
psychological killing and things. So it is a horror. I mean, Killing Eve has got some nice horror
Oh,
kills.
really?
Yeah, you got to watch it. There's some nasty horror kills, and they come out of the blue.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, it's not just a what'll happen kind of television.
Yeah, yeah.
It's movie-esque. She yeah, she has some nasty kills and right unexpected. She dresses up as different people, and she has different accents. Sometimes she's English, American, Russian. She plays all, and you think because sometimes she's on a mission to assassinate, so
Yeah.
but sometimes she enjoys her job. So sometimes somebody pisses her off in the cafe. She just there's no other option. You're going down. And then she goes to Russia too, and then she kills her mother, and she
Oh,
pisses her off.
damn.
Yeah, so she becomes a loose cannon. She
Wow.
becomes so confident with her killing. She becomes so confident with it and so blatant. And now it's in the everyday and it's right out there. She used to plan the kill like an assassin would, and
Yeah,
now
of course.
she's kind of gone rogue. It's kind of like Leatherface, but she gets away with it because it's so instant and it's so spontaneous, and she's gone and out.
Oh,
So it's so professional, but she doesn't plan it that way. But it works out. So it's wow, and you're kind of impressed.
yeah, exactly.
It's a bit like you shouldn't be like 9/11. I mean, by taking airplanes, the beauty of it. I mean, the actual idea of turning planes into a weapon when they had nothing
Hmm.
it is a genius stroke. If you just take it away everything else and think about how some culture could fight back with nothing, is to turn something safe, or supposedly safe, into uh, such a massive weapon. It's
Yeah.
wow, you think, my God, wow, well, I wouldn't say genius, but it's clever in its concept. And so, but that's the nature of things, I suppose. Um, things, yeah. So, um, what else do you need to know or want to know about Texas Chainsaw, the musical?
The music. You, they actually made a musical out of the horror film the Evil Dead. So if they can make a musical out of the Evil Dead, I'm sure they could do one for Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, they did with I mean, what's his name did with the Nazis, didn't he? Mel Brooks. Made a musical of Nazis. I know I'm Jewish, so when the Nazis dancing, and it was kind of funny to make fun of people that should be made fun of or brought to light. And I thought
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was kind of dark. Like I always kind of my hair goes up the back of my neck when I see like I just auditioned this week, 2 auditions for George Clooney,
Oh, wow.
who's directing a film. called The Boys in the Boat.
Okay. Okay.
And it's a true story about rowing in the Olympics in 1936, which was the Olympics in Berlin
Yeah.
when Adolf, that's when Jesse Owens was winning this black guy was winning all these medals in 1936, pissing off the Germans. Well, there was a rowing team that wasn't really a rowing team. I think George might be playing the coach, but it's an
Oh.
inspirational book. It's called The Boys in the Boat. They're calling it Chariots of Fire in a Boat. Remember the movie Chariots of Fire?
Yeah. Yeah.
The black and white. It's inspirational about a Christian and a Jew, and
Hmm.
they go to the Olympics. That's a true story, and it's inspirational. Well, this is just as inspirational. They're calling it, Chariots of Fire, but in a boat. And so these guys, this coach took these kind of hefty builders that worked in logging camps in Oregon and stuff, and turned them into rowers. And they beat all the posh kids in Washington and Harvard and Yale. And
Oh,
they won
wow.
the right. They won the right to go to Berlin, but then they had to come up with $5,000 in 1936 within a week. And so this is their story. And then they go to Berlin and they win. This is a true story. They won against the Germans, I think, by 1 second.
1 second, really?
In Adolf Hitler's Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know if I got it yet, but I know that he's filming a lot in Oxford because of Oxford, the rowing clubs. And I'm from Oxford, so
Okay.
Oxford and Cambridge have the rowing. It's kind of the Yale and Harvard of England, and so they're going to do all the row, and I know they're going to turn it all into swastikas.
Oh, no.
I still can't get over the fact, it's still, I know
Oh,
it's a film,
no.
but you're going to have to turn that sucker into, like Berlin, 1936, which means,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
red and white and black swastikas all over the place, but, being true to history. But so we'll see, but that's coming out. So he's in Oxford in the next 3 months, March, April, May, to come along. But fingers crossed. I was auditioning for the other coach, and well, there's not many because they've hired I don't know if they've hired. I didn't think they hired the Americans for the rowers. They've hired British guys that can row, not
Gotcha.
actors.
Gotcha.
They don't need actors. They need rowers. Actors that can row. The rowers that can act. So I think they're all rowers except a few are sprinkled actors around it, and all of them. I don't think they're well known because he wanted the story, like the guy that wrote the book went to
Hmm.
visit one of the guys that was in the boat. And he said, when you make the movie, or if you ever write a book, he said, not the movie. This was years ago before he died. Don't make it about me or any individual. Make it about the boat. Just make
Oh,
it about
really?
the boat and how they stuck together with the boat. And so I think that's what George is trying to do, is make it about
Oh.
the boat and the racing and the story first.
Oh.
It's about famous actors that give themselves up and don't have all the time that when you're watching the film, you think, oh, this is George. George did it once. He did it once in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Do you
Okay.
remember that? Oh Brother,
No.
Where Art Thou?
No.
You haven't seen this
No.
film?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Rocco Croft. My God, sir. Please
Okay.
watch. It's the Coen brothers. It's called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay.
It's based on the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
based
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Iliad. So there's no car crashes. It's biblical. It's about floods and
Yeah.
three guys escape a prison. And George is in it. He plays Dapper Dan. He plays this guy. But what he does is he gives himself up. And so you don't go, oh, we're watching a movie with George Clooney in it. You don't. You're watching it because of the story.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
he's aiding the story. Another time that happened is Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a good
So
movie.
he didn't keep going, oh, this is Bruce Willis. This
Yeah.
is Bruce Willis.
Exactly.
No, you watch it because of the kid
Yeah.
and his ability.
Yeah.
And you're watching it because for the right reasons, for the story and the
Yes.
plot. And then he gives himself up to it until the end. And then you realize, but he he takes a back seat and let the story go. And that's what
Exactly. Exactly.
George does in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You must see this film.
Ah.
You must see it. And also for the soundtrack.
Oh,
It's
really?
unbelievably good. It's unbelievable. I would give my left arm to be in that. Oh my God, to be in a Coen
Wow.
Brothers. My agent said, look, Sam, you've done so much. We can't just keep, doing auditions. Let's write to directors. So you want to be like Polanski. I met Polanski and other people. The Coen Brothers would be on that hit list, just because I'm a type and I would fit what they're doing. But you must see this film. And so I think that's what he's doing with, The Boys in the Boat. It's all about
Oh, okay.
the story. I don't know if he'll film it in black and white, but yeah, I don't know how we got off the track. We were all talking about Nazis flags or something. Yeah, and so no. So I was happy to be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought, well, it's a classic, and
Oh,
sometimes I don't like to see clips because no, sometimes I do and thought, shit, this is good. I'm going to have to marry the standard, get up to the standard of the
yeah.
rest of it. Wow, this is good. Or sometimes on a film, they've let this go. This is crap.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but you never give up like that. You shouldn't. You should always go, no, I'll do my best and do my
Right.
part, and hopefully it will gel. No,
Right.
sometimes I've been in a film where you think, I don't know if this is going to go. I was in Snatch, film with Snatch with Guy Ritchie, and
Okay.
then Jason Statham, and then it took off and it's become like a cult movie. Brits love it. A lot of people love Snatch and all these Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, all these Vinnie Jones, East London. But I was played an American, Dennis Farina. And sometimes, you're in a big film like Kubrick. I was in
Mm-hmm.
that film with
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
thought, 2 years. And I thought, this is
Yeah.
going to be something. And then when you watch it, you go, that's it. I mean, that's like something in progress, and you think it was Kubrick, but, so you never know,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
no, but I think it wasn't Kubrick. It was the story, just as it was getting going
Mm-hmm.
about this sexual journey.
Mm-hmm.
Just as it started to get interesting, it was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he went on this journey, and you think whether about being faithful or not, and you wanted him to continue on or whatever within the relationship or something to go to the next, but no, it ended,
Yeah. Yeah.
and things, and so I don't know. So yeah, you never can read it. I don't know if this will get more horror flicks. Was there one? I wanted to be the sheriff. I remember my friend of mine's playing the sheriff, and but he was Canadian, so he kind of played it straight. He
Okay.
should have done it more southern or put a little more. I would have been better as a fat sheriff. It needed a fat, sweaty. It needed a fat, sweaty sheriff. Because when he gets it, you want it like in a horror flick. You go, yeah, he needed it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah.
You know. Well, some characters that go and you go, oh no, he didn't die, did he? And you go, oh
Uh-huh.
shit. Like in Texas Chainsaw, the guy that plays the mechanic, he's like a baddie, but he turns out to
Yes.
be quite good. And then when he goes,
Yes.
you think, oh shit, he's a nice person. I like to be one of the baddies, like, oh thank God he's fucking gone. Stop, give me the chainsaw, let me take care of him, you know, um, and stuff. So McNally, whatever his name is, yeah, he was pretty good, but it would have been a great part to play the lead, right? No dialogue. You don't have
Right.
to spend your time in the hotel room looking up the lines. You just show up and, well, okay, it is a bit of a stretch when you have to put on a leather face or
That's
somebody's
true.
mask every fucking day and wear it
That's
for 14 hours a day.
wow.
Well, when you see a film like that, you think, oh no, it's a good part and it's quite big. No, he's played that every day. You have to think that he lived in that costume,
Damn.
mate. And then, yeah, and then he does those takes of, they do them 10, 20 times because of angles and things all day. So no, he earned his keep. He earned
Oh
his keep.
wow.
I mean, not because of not only just the physicality, but the costume and and all that behind it. That could have been draining. Yeah, that would have been. I would have earned my money and things on that. But did you like it, the film?
Yeah, yeah. Because I like all me. I love horror films. They're like gory, and
Yeah,
this definitely was gory.
yeah. No, this was. And just when my wife and I thought we escaped, and I thought, well, he's gone, and they're leading out, and then that last shot,
Oh my
so
God, it was
beautifully done,
crazy.
taken out of the car and bang, and
That
then
was
driven over.
crazy.
And you look at that again, you think, how? When did prosthetic? When did the computer take over? And when did How did they?
Mhm.
I think they just filmed it realistically, and then did it separated it in post,
Yeah,
but because the head and the body were so real and
that
stuff.
was so nuts with
And,
him holding the head after he
and then we
chops it with the
almost,
chainsaw,
oh,
and
oh, and like she didn't escape. My wife and I turned to her, I said, "Welcome to horror." Like, holy shit! Like, go, enjoy going to bed
yeah,
and
I
having
know,
a
right?
nice sleep. Right, the last thing at night. Jesus. Okay, but anyway, so let's get dark in here. So I've got my 5-year-old wanting to. Uh,
What another thing like I like about the movie is like they got the girl who lived in like the very first one, like the old one, and she's back all these years later, and she never moved out of that town. She stood there on until Leatherface showed up again.
yeah, no, and you could tell that this was a good part because she was like motivated.
Yeah,
And we believe too that I'm going to get my revenge.
yeah,
And you think, wow, good. She survived, so she's going to be the one that has
to
the right
kill him.
to
Yeah,
polish him off. And then, well, she doesn't go kind of cleanly, she, and then you kind of give up hope. Uh, okay. You have to wait for me, honey. I've got my 5-year-old daughter here.
okay.
Yeah, so we kept her clear of the. I'm trying to keep her clear from the TV airways now,
Yeah,
watching the news every day
yeah, I
about
know, right?
Ukraine. So yeah, and so let alone Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's not it's not available at nurseries.
No, it's
You
not.
know,
Definitely not.
do you have kids?
No, 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 I
Okay,
know.
okay. Okay. No, this is my first. I've had my
Oh,
first at
okay.
60 years old. She's 5. And so she helps me do self tapes and stuff. And then
Oh,
she
wow.
has to be taped. She has to be taped. And then, and then when I tape her, she goes stump. She doesn't say a word. So anyway, so she just wants to be part of this thing, trying to keep her quiet. I mean, I had one where I should have kept all the outtakes. I mean, I had so many outtakes when I you know I taped it and it went well, and then
Uh-huh.
she's dribbling in the background, or she's dropped something, or she's moving, and so and it looks, you feel sorry for me after I should have put all my outtakes together, like a father trying to do get a self tape done. I need that, honey. And you just think, oh, you feel for the guy. And I thought my wife, but I had raced them all. And she said, you know what? We should have kept them, because at the time I was doing the takes. I was pissed off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then doing the take. And then it got to the point where I was laughing. I was like, you know what? This just wasn't working. I'd gone through about 5, 7 emotions uh, from my daughter on off camera, that I was exhausted, but that was the self tape in itself. A
Yeah, I
guy
know,
struggling,
exactly.
poor guy, just you've seen a couple of times. I've seen on the film, on TV, on the news, or some politician or somebody's talking. and then the child comes out from
Yeah,
behind the
yeah.
thing and runs behind them and stuff, and things. But yeah, I should make a film of it. And
You
so
should.
yeah, and so I thought, oh, you know what? I should have strung those all together. People, friends would have been in stitches over it. And see what else. Yeah, and I just finished a film called Banfu. I
Oh,
filmed it in Russia,
oh
and
wow. Okay.
we filmed it in southern part of Russia. It's called the Altai region, which is along the Mongolian border, which looks like Alaska because
Oh,
it's set in Alaska in the 1940s.
oh
And that's a
wow.
true story. It's about Americans, two or three, a group of Americans looking for two Russian pilots
Hmm.
that go missing. This is true in the wilderness. We're looking for them in the wilderness of Alaska. It is on the verge of horror.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because the bears, but in a real, no, it's a realistic. These guys went missing, and they were eaten by bears. And we had the locals help us. I think we had the local Mongolians because they looked very like Eskimo.
Hmm.
Uh, and so they wouldn't help us, and they wouldn't help them in real life. They said, "We'll give you boats and ropes and things, but we won't help you," because they feared this bear or a bear's spirit in the
Oh wow.
and one of the pilots. This is true. They turned and he was missing. I mean,
What?
3 minutes. He just turned and they couldn't find him. Just gone. And you know, the woods had been spooked by this bear spirit for years. And so these me and this guy that was well, he's the lead. He was a U.S. Army general, but he wasn't. He was kind of FBI or CIA leading the
Okay.
expedition. I played the doctor, and he wanted a doctor and a couple of people. Even I get spooked,
Oh
and
wow.
they can't explain it. They can't explain it. So it's about this bear spirit. And so when we discovered the bodies, this is true. Uh, it wasn't like when it was eaten by a bear, but uh, it was not. It was torn like
Ooh.
something not seen before. It wasn't human. It was. That's what freaked us out, or freaks me out. And so the I can't spoil it for you, but
Yeah.
so we find the pilots in the end. One of them, or the other two, were eaten or destroyed, and that was the thing. They weren't eaten, and so it's called Bansu, Bansu, and it comes out. So I thought I'd be going back for the opening. I don't think I'll be going back to
Yeah,
Russia
I know with
anytime
everything
soon.
going on.
Well, it's a you know, a co-production. It was their attempt to joining with the West because that's what they wanted to do, Western film and stuff. And these were documentary filmmakers,
Okay.
so it is good. Man, I'm coming in and out of the light. I look like Brando in Apocalypse Now. You know, and so yeah, so that was, wow, what an experience that was. Getting up at 4 in the morning and going on a boat in the snow and
Ooh.
going to these locations that were, I mean, they were magnificent. I mean, I said to the other actor, we're going to have a hell of a job trying to compete with the landscape because the landscape was, well, it was Alaska, it was
Yeah,
gorgeous,
yeah.
beautiful in this thing, but we were going through hell. Going through rivers and snow and oh
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
But what a great experience. It was like a documentary making of it. They filmed it like that. Their angles and things were insanely good. So I think they're gonna sell it to Netflix.
Oh, good. Okay.
I think so, or try to. But they wanted to have it, they should have a big opening in Europe, not in Moscow. Now everything's
Well,
anti-Russian
yeah, yeah,
at the
exactly.
time, you know. Well, they're not, you know, it's not the Russians. This is Putin's war. All the Russian friends, they're all contacting their Ukrainian and they're all against it and stuff. And, you know, they're just like us, normal, but they're suppressed. They all, uh, you know, when we get together and party and
Hmm.
smoke and do everything,
Yeah.
you know, they're just, I mean, their favorite, we bonded over Bob Dylan.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know, see,
really?
because they were revolutionaries, right?
Yeah,
They're revolutionaries in their living rooms. They don't go out because of your protests like now.
yeah.
They they get beaten up, even old ladies on the street.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, in Russia, no, it's and then the whole gay lesbian thing that it's just the fear of it, homophobic, and just
Wow.
about everything, and then they're calling us the Nazis. Jesus, what how rich is that? Ironic. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a political, but yeah. So it is sort of, yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's horror, the genre, but yeah, there's horror in it, and they
Yeah.
do it wonderfully by not showing too much.
Oh,
You
okay.
see, the most
Okay.
powerful thing you have in, well, not only horror, particularly horror, but in the theater, is the most powerful weapon is imagination. And so tweaking the imagination is better. Well, you know how many horror things that we watch that it looks terrific and our imagination run
Yeah.
wild, and then you see the like the rubber chicken or the rubber effect, and then you go, oh, okay, I had such ideas for that to be wow, and so this they understood that, so they provoked your imagination
Hmm.
and filming the camera on a wire that you were the spirit without showing the spirit. It's clever.
Oh,
It's
wow.
clever.
Okay.
Without
Yeah.
showing little bits and suggestions, without and letting the audience assume that the audience is intelligent, uh, to let them take over, which is actually more horrific than any when you show something literally. It will usually take away unless it's very good. I mean, like Texas Chainsaw, that last effect was
Yeah,
quite
I know. That
effective.
was
It was
crazy.
so quick and fast that
Crazy.
was effective. Because I had a feeling that I think our ability to do horror now is getting more sophisticated. I mean, in the old days, it was quite. We look back, it's quite comical now. But that's just only the extent of our technology, right?
Yeah.
And now we have computer and technology that I thought, oh, it's going to get to the point where, especially when it gets on the bus and it's going to chop everybody, you think, oh, it's going to come. But no, they've kept up the believability of it.
Yes. Yes.
And so you
That
don't
was a
go,
brutal scene
oh,
too. The bus scene.
yeah, to being literal. So it's an art form of when to be literal and when to, I don't know, provoke, I suppose. But anyway, it was nice to be a part of it. I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
Um, I knew it was famous and it would be a high profile. Um, so they had more for me. They had more dialogue. I think they cut it down, and which it should be. I think. But I thought they wanted to dwell on me to turn me into a red herring, to think who's the guy. But no, it needs to get on with what's that thing we got to get on the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of people to kill and get on with.
There was a lot
There's
of
a lot
people
of
to kill
people
on
to
that.
go through. Oh Jesus, you imagine. Anyway, but anyway, so any other questions you got?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, for the Texas Chainsaw film, what scene did you like? There she is. What scene did you like best, and what was your best kill in it?
uh, I think the end, and I got to know the lead actress, not the lead one that the actual one that died in the end that we were
Yeah,
talking about. She
yeah,
was Jewish, and she was quite. I thought she was quite. When I first met her, like not a bimbo, but just a sorority type.
yeah, yeah.
But
Hmm.
no, she had quite a lot of character, in depth, and no, she was quite interesting. And then when I saw the film, yeah, no, she holds her own, and those two hold the film because they were playing, they were playing that. These girls they know what they're doing. I thought
Oh,
they
I
were just
know.
I thought they were millennials and they're lucky on a film. No, they were trained theater, New York. actresses, professional. Okay, honey, you have to go down now. I'm talking. Okay. And no, I was impressed. And then I thought, oh, because they were being sorority girls in the beginning with me. So I thought, okay, and they're going to have to go through all the horrific ordeal. No, and wow, they held it. They held the film and the tense, and when she was under the bed, and that was quite good.
Yeah, I know that was great. That was crazy, that scene.
Yeah, and so where was it before? Well, an actor has a lot of pressure in a horror film because you can spend. Let's get down. You have to get down, honey. Go and play in the traffic. So you have a lot of pressure because when they spend a lot of money on special effects, it means nothing if the actor goes yawns, and you've got to act and react to it. And sometimes you can have the effects not very great, but the acting makes it that it's going to be person's going to be killed, or you can have a lot of money on special effects from like Indiana Jones. If you don't have the acting with an enormous rock ball going to roll over you, it doesn't work. It needs it really needs the actors to believe in the thing rather than a stage scream and things like that, and the element of surprise. So I thought, oh, I don't know if they'll handle it, but they did, and I was quite impressed with their work on it. That was a really good scene. I liked Under the Bed, and yeah, it's not what happens, but what could happen. It's what and imagination can run riot. All the time when I was watching it, I thought, why am I not Leatherface? I don't know if you can do anything different to it. I mean, it's just a guy with a chainsaw. I thought that they could have gave him more dialogue about his mummy or something. Because when I did the audition, I played it like Lenny in Mice and Men.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, simple. Okay, as a real simpleton. I thought that they could have written more of some dialogue back to make him more frightening as to why he's that way, rather than you just get the leather the mother's face on and then you're killing. No, it was more to that. They should have given more depth of maybe he could have talked to it would have been more frightening. He said, he could have talked to them about his mother, and I'm gonna have to cut you up because you did what you did to my mother, and keep him as a little simpleton, as to talk him down a bit, as a sort of humanity behind the horror rather than just a guy with a horror. That's my child over there with COVID. Okay. And just coughing. Yeah, but that's about writing more than anything. But I played it like that when I auditioned for it. Okay. And I thought, no, but maybe because of size or something, or I don't know what, they didn't go with me. But I think they threw me a bone and gave me Herb.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought, well, you could kill him off, and then Herb, I could become, and there's a new Leatherface.
I know, right? You never know.
Yeah, well, Anyway, so but it was just good to be a part of it, and so thanks for finding me and netting me and getting me to talk to you about it. Because I hadn't seen the movie, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna watch this, and then I went, holy shit, this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. It's really good to be a part of it, But anyway, it's just nice to be part of the Grue Room, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope it's gruesome enough.
Definitely was. Thanks.
Yeah, man. It's nice to meet you.
Same here. where can fans find you at? Like, your
Oh,
social
I'm on
pages and
IMDb. I'm on YouTube. Just Sam Douglas Show Reel. You can see. I think I sent it you a link.
hmm
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Sam Douglas has all the thing with Tom Cruise and everybody. Uh, I'm lucky, because my agent had a hard time getting. I've been in 100 films and TV,
wow,
right? Yeah, and
wow.
getting them all down to 5 minutes. So I can't do it because I'm too subjective. You need somebody to go, oh, this is me on Tuesday, and this is me with my hair to parted on the left. Actors, schmactors. Fuck that. Get off. You need somebody goes, look, that's it. You're a detective. You're a cop there, and that's it.
Yeah.
He knew what sold, so he put Snatch and Eyes Wide Shut and Fifth Element, all these different things. He put it
Okay.
together so it quick and grab attention and all the big high sales. So I don't know. He designed that, and so it's all on there. It's in within 3 to 5 minutes.
Nice.
And like
Nice.
another film that I was in was Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets. I've been in
Okay.
three Luc Besson films. One is Fifth Element, Colombiana, playing a mafia person, and then Valerian. $187 million picture, you see, and it's all blue screen, and that's when it was too much special effects. Just
Oh, all right. Okay.
he was trying to do Fifth Element, but this time he went well over the top, and it was the character that just washed out everything. I mean, there's 200 fucking stars in it. John Goodman, everybody, and it washes. And but I've been in three Luc Besson films, so it's best to just catch that the show reel, the Sam Douglas show reel on YouTube, and my agent put it together. No, that's why I was born here. I was born in England.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and my sister married an American after the war, and then we moved to Iowa. He was from Iowa, the soldier,
Yeah.
and then all my family were English. And so I studied in Iowa, and then I followed a mentor, my Jewish mentor from New York, and acting around from Iowa to Oklahoma, back to New York. And then I decided everybody was calling from LA and New York, going, "Oh, you're an actor. What restaurant do you work at?" And so yeah, could I get a fork, please? Thank you. So I thought, you know what? I got a British passport. So I went, and then I got a job, like within the first year or two, with Bill Murray. And I thought, oh, that's lucky
Wow.
because of supply and demand. There's a demand for Americans, and the supply is very little. See, I had
Mhm.
an American accent and American culture, but with a British passport, I could work in Europe. Well, uh, Rocco, that was 40 years ago.
Wow.
And I've done all American films. And see, all the films that I do are big ones.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
small ones, the ones that you find in Woolworth's bargain basement, those, I don't even know the names of people. Oh, I was in this film. I've never heard of that. But these are, mine are all Columbia, Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
uh, you know, Paramount, because they've had to spend. I'm in the new Flash, the
Oh,
movie
really?
Ben Affleck and Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton. I
Yeah.
play a janitor. I play the New York Italian janitor. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And
Nice.
then things like this and Bansu, and I'm in the new Guy Ritchie film called Operation Fortune with Jason Statham. It's my second Guy Ritchie film, and so yeah, so I work. And
Yeah, I know.
it's
I
a
see
business.
that.
Supply and demand. The demand for Americans is great. Supply is very little. So I tried to get a job in the States. I can't get a job sweeping the stage, but I
Oh,
work in London because it's just I treat it as a businessman. And so I'm lucky to have all this work under my belt. I regretted it and came back to the States. I couldn't get a job. I think I got a student film. And then all of a sudden, the National Theater, I worked with the Royal Shakespeare Company. Put that away, darling, and things. So, yeah. And so the National Theater here was calling. What's that like? That's like the Lincoln Center.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I didn't want to be known as just an overweight American actor. It took me a while to be in the National Theater. You know what? I turned down The Sopranos, man. I had a friend
Oh,
in it. They said,
really?
"No, you need to meet these people," and they said, "Oh, we want to see your tape." And I said, "Well, I don't have a. I was in Snatch, and Snatch come out." And they said, "Okay," and I wanted to see some girl in Australia, so I went on to. I'll come back, forgetting that in America you've got to strike when it's hot. And I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'll come back later. I was wrong. I was young. I was naive and didn't know. There was some series called The Sopranos. What are they? It's not going to go. It's not going to fly. And so, yeah. And so, this is where I abode most of the time, And sometimes I go to Iowa, IOWA, idiots
Yeah.
out wandering around. And it's not Philly, but and so so yeah, so I get a lot of American work. All of my work is and sometimes they come here to set up production before they go to Bulgaria or Rome or Italy. Or I got an agent in Rome before they film wherever they're going to film, Prague or Bulgaria or wherever.
Hmm.
They set up production. So they hire us cheap Americans because they don't have to, they fly me on Ryanair or EasyJet and stay in a hotel with a crack down the wall in the swimming pool, and stuff. And somebody's making money somewhere. It's not me. It's going over my head.
Yeah.
But, instead of going to want to hire one of those SAG actors to come over and, first class flights and, what have you, and things. So, yeah, that's how the industry runs. But having said that, it's nice to have been in a lot of good productions,
Oh,
over
definitely.
the years.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, nice to have met you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for letting me
it's
in the
really nice
Grue
meeting
Room.
you.
Yeah, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Okay, man.
All right, buddy.
All right. Take care, Rocco. All right.
All right, all
See you,
right,
man.
buddy. You
All right.
too.
Cheers, mate.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.